Anandamide and disorder, the balance of bliss and stress. Anandamide is often referred to as the brain's bliss molecule, but this label can be misleading if taken too literally. Anandamide is not simply a chemical that creates happiness. It is part of a much broader system, the endocannabinoid system, which helps regulate mood, stress, memory, appetite, and pain. So what happens when anandamide systems become disrupted? To understand this, we begin with its role in the brain. Anandamide is an endocannabinoid, meaning it is a naturally occurring chemical in the brain that binds to cannabinoid receptors. These receptors, particularly CB1 receptors, are widely distributed across regions involved in emotion, motivation, and cognition. Unlike many neurotransmitters, anandamide is not stored and released in the same way. It is produced on demand, in response to changes in neural activity, and then rapidly broken down. This makes it a flexible and adaptive system, designed to maintain balance in the brain. Anandamide often works by modulating other neurotransmitters. It can influence dopamine, GABA, and glutamate systems, helping to regulate how strongly these systems respond. Because of this, disruptions in anandamide can have widespread effects. One of the most important conditions associated with anandamide is depression. Anandamide plays a role in regulating mood and emotional resilience. Reduced levels of anandamide have been linked to low mood and anhedonia, the reduced ability to experience pleasure. When this system is underactive, individuals may find that rewarding experiences feel less meaningful. This highlights how the endocannabinoid system supports emotional balance. A second condition linked to anandamide is anxiety disorders. Anandamide helps regulate fear and stress responses, particularly in areas such as the amygdala. When anandamide levels are low, the brain may become more reactive to perceived threats. This can lead to increased anxiety, heightened vigilance, and difficulty relaxing. Conversely, appropriate levels of anandamide help dampen excessive stress responses. This shows how the system acts as a buffer against overactivation. A third important condition is post-traumatic stress disorder. In PTSD, individuals experience persistent fear responses long after a traumatic event. Anandamide is involved in fear extinction, the process by which the brain learns that a threat is no longer present. If anandamide signaling is disrupted, this process may be impaired. This can make it difficult for individuals to reduce fear responses, leading to symptoms such as hypervigilance and intrusive memories. This highlights the role of anandamide in emotional learning and adaptation. Another condition associated with anandamide is addiction. Anandamide interacts with dopamine systems involved in reward and motivation. Disruptions in this system can alter how rewards are processed, influencing addictive behaviors. Some substances affect the endocannabinoid system directly or indirectly, contributing to changes in motivation and reinforcement. This demonstrates how interconnected neurotransmitter systems are. There is also evidence linking anandamide to chronic pain. Anandamide plays a role in reducing the perception of pain. When this system is underactive, individuals may experience increased sensitivity to pain. This suggests that enhancing endocannabinoid signaling may be a potential approach to pain management. From a broader perspective, these disorders illustrate several key principles. First, anandamide is part of a modulatory system. It does not act as a primary excitatory or inhibitory signal, but instead helps regulate other neurotransmitters. Second, it is produced on demand, allowing it to respond dynamically to the brain's needs. Third, balance is essential. Both reduced and excessive activity can disrupt normal functioning. There are also important implications for treatment. Understanding anandamide has contributed to growing interest in the endocannabinoid system as a target for treating mood disorders, anxiety, and pain. However, This area is complex and still developing. It is also important to evaluate Anandamide explanations carefully. Conditions such as depression and anxiety involve many interacting factors, including genetics, environment, and other neurotransmitter systems. Anandamide is part of the explanation, but not the whole story. Despite this, its role is increasingly recognized as important. So what is the key takeaway? Anandamide is a key component of the brain's endocannabinoid system, involved in regulating mood, stress, reward, and pain. When its systems are disrupted, it can contribute to conditions such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, addiction, and chronic pain. More broadly, these conditions show how the brain maintains balance through flexible and adaptive chemical systems. So, the next time you feel calm, resilient, or able to cope with stress, remember this: anandamide is helping to regulate your brain's response. And when that system becomes unbalanced, it can affect how we experience both stress and pleasure. A powerful reminder that the brain's chemistry is not just about activation, but about maintaining balance across complex systems.
If you enjoyed our channel, please click subscribe.